Hello, and welcome to Web Content Management is a perfect complement to your ERP. I'd like to remind everyone to use the chat function in the session room for any questions. We'll also be going live on Zoom, so be sure to click the link following the presentation to join in the discussion. Now I'd like to introduce our speakers, Alex Oliveri and Jonathan Reed. Alex Oliveri is Senior Director of Professional Services. He's passionate about current application development trends and believes in delivering solutions that solve customers' business problems utilizing innovative technology, consulting, and training. Jonathan Reed is a solutions engineer for Sitefinity. He's been working with the platform for nearly 10 years in various capacities like consulting, sales, evangelism, and more. And now I'm going to turn it over to Alex Oliveri to kick off the presentation. Alex?
Thanks, John. Before we begin, I just want to start by saying that in today's unpredictable business environment, customer behavior and buyer preferences are changing, and in some cases permanently. This affects both internal and external customers, as well as all of your partners within the supply chain. Because of the lack of face-to-face engagements and limited opportunities to engage with your customers on a more personal basis, delivering an exceptional digital experience is extremely important. And this trend will continue and accelerate as companies conduct more business and more customer engagements online. In this session, you'll learn how an innovative digital experience platform, or DXP, can elevate the way your enterprise enables customer self-service, automates processes that meets customers' needs dynamically, and engages with customers in personalized ways. You'll also see how your enterprise portal can integrate and manage the workflow within your corporate application, such as something like QADEE. And then after my presentation, Jonathan Reed is going to go ahead and give us a demo of Sitefinity, where he'll show some intuitive abilities for building content, forms, and even a customized widget for purchase requisitions. Having said that, let's take a look at the agenda. First, we'll set a level playing field by defining web content management and digital experience platforms. Then we'll look at the benefits of a strategic DXP. Then we'll look at the enterprise challenge that we all face and how a digital experience platform can help solve those problems. Then we'll move to Jonathan's demo, and finally, we'll have some QA. So how has the market evolved to help organizations such as yours to deliver digital content in spite of increasing pressure based on today's business drivers? For years, content has been king. And this is because people are constantly seeking information that will help you in day-to-day tasks. There is a need to have timely information as the basis for impactful decisions. Information to help achieve work goals, information to do better, live better, and perform better. The fundamental source for that information is the web. It's an endless, infinite pool of information. Web content started as a static source of information, but current technology has allowed for adaptive response to our need for information and the desire of businesses to be that central source of information. Use yourself as an example. How many times a day do you depend on the web in some manner to get information necessary to make a decision, whether it's personal or work related? At its core, web content management has evolved into a lead generation and conversion model. If we consistently deliver useful and relevant content, visitors will move from the research stage to the decision stage and convert from a prospect to a customer. And when it's done effectively, they become loyal customers. Relevant and frequent content delivery move into a multi-channel mode. Delivering personalized information in the platform of choice at just the right time is extremely important and can be a very key differentiator. However, for many years, organizations have struggled with their customer engagement initiatives, having to rely and depend on IT for day-to-day tasks, and they end up competing with other mission-critical business needs. Customer engagement was sometimes a luxury. Hey, wouldn't it be great if we could do this type of priority? And truthfully, this is likely still the case for many companies. If you continue to operate without an innovative digital transformation strategy, there is no question you are going to fall behind. So let's look at the evolution. As we stated, it all started with content. Immediately after searching the web began, it quickly migrated into shopping, B2B and B2C. Many of you can probably remember very early QAD introduced CSS for e-commerce. Now that was QAD's introduction to an e-commerce solution. Then it moved to campaign management. Can your lead generation engine react to trends, business drivers, seasonal fluctuations? Are your marketing campaigns automated, directed, and measurable? Then responsiveness became important. Do you have an intuitive and engaging customer experience regardless of the platform or device? And very importantly, can you capture actionable analytics based on a personalized messaging? Are we hoping for the best, or are we taking more of a scientific approach to capturing leads and converting them to sales? So our web content management systems matured and evolved into a digital experience platform. More functionality was required. And then, we hear the term omni-channel. We've got to deliver the content on multiple devices or channels. But not only that, it's got to be persistent and it's got to be context sensitive. It's got to be relevant and it's got to be timely. Not only that, we have to integrate with back office information. In order to deliver relevant content, we have to have one version of the truth. We have to have a 360-degree view of our customer, and that's going to include the need for integration across heterogeneous business applications. Next is social media. We can't escape it. Whether it's Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, LinkedIn, or even TikTok, the ads are going to show up and they are going to be personal. They are going to be placed in a position based on the context of our search, and social media is a very important part of the solution. The need to integrate with business processes, eliminate data silos, both internal and external applications and data sources, and wherever possible, we need to minimize data redundancy, have confidence in our data, ensure that there's only one version of the truth. And then compliance comes into play, whether it's HIPAA, GDPR, various forms of single sign-on. There's plenty of government regulation and compliance that must be followed. So these are the features that must be checked off for an effective digital experience platform. Let's take a step back for a second. We got into a lot of detail there, but there has to be tooling in place to deliver the features that we just discussed. And let's look at some of those components. At the end of the day, metrics must provide insights into your digital initiatives. You must understand your audience better to provide that 360-degree view. There has to be tailored experiences through personas and audience segmentation. This is not a one-size-fits-all process. Actionable marketing metrics with detailed analytics, including marketing attribution. We need to understand how your customer found you, what messaging is working and what is not. And of course, there's data tracking and extensibility. I mean, how many websites do we visit for the first time where we're being asked if we'll accept cookies? And finally, the tooling, has got to be available and flexible enough to be either on-premise or in the cloud, depending on your need and operational resources. And we're going to see in the next couple of slides how cloud will enable more operational efficiencies. So an effective digital experience platform will solve several key business challenges related to creating, deploying, and managing a customer engagement. And we're also going to talk a little bit about how this will dovetail very nicely in with multiple domains that are found in QAD, but more about that later. So one of the benefits of the digital experience is a reduced reliance or dependency on IT. Intuitive content creation experience and centralized content management enable marketers to be in control of their day-to-day tasks. Centrally managing content and deliver that content to a variety of channels to improve brand affinity, consistency, and customer experience, including multi-site and multilingual, is extremely important. And you've got to deliver personalized experiences. Marketers can leverage integrated, centrally managed, out-of-the-box analytics, audience discovery, and personalization based on tailored messaging. And then there's operational efficiency, as I just mentioned a few minutes ago. There should be built-in content approval workflows, enterprise authentication through standard authorization and authentication services like Active Directory. There's got to be granular user permissions management, continuous delivery and continuous integration, as well as content synchronization capabilities. Managing the entire digital experience from a single interface should be intuitive and straightforward. And at the end of the day, we want to get to the market faster. The platform must be flexible and highly configurable. It's got to be easily extensible through industry standard APIs and integrate well with CRM and marketing automation systems such as Microsoft Dynamics or Salesforce, Eloqua, and so forth. And it should be plug and play with e-commerce functionality as well to manage and to make the launching and managing of B2B and B2C digital commerce initiatives easy. Now, Jonathan is going to show Sitefinity during the demonstration. And, in that demo, he's going to show a very intuitive, highly productive content builder. I think he's going to create some forms and show some pre-built templates, as well as some other functionality. But in a fast-paced business environment, many organizations are facing the threat of disruption. Marketers often face the challenges of coping with day-to-day tasks and achieving business goals with less resources. So the tooling has got to be full functioning, it's got to be simplified, and it's got to be easy to use. Organizations are striving to deliver better digital experience and user experience as well, but they're sometimes restricted by the technology that they're using. The key is to empower marketers, let them do their job with minimal dependence on IT. The ability to use drag and drop layouts, landing page and form builders to improve efficiency and time to market, as marketers are empowered to try new ideas or optimize the experience without additional external help. And while content creators can independently synchronize content between staging and live environments, IT can focus on what it does best: configure policies, workflows, user permissions, ensure that not only do they enable the marketers to deliver their brand consistency and better user experience, but also ensure security, high availability, and site integrity. Marketers are often challenged to deliver content to international audiences through dedicated touch points. The ability to centrally manage multiple websites and to reuse, share, translate, and collaborate content across sites using a single interface ensures timely content delivery and improved productivity. Now, this is where QAD domains dovetail in quite nicely, with these tools. Domains provide operational data segregation. Domains are the top level of almost every index in QAD. As such, it's a way of maintaining multiple data sets and hence multiple companies within one database. For example, you can have operations by region, but all exist within the same database or instance, but keep everything between these two companies segregated, including base currency. We know that base currency is always the most fundamental decision on whether you need multiple domains. So you can have different customers, currencies, items, vendors, and so forth in each domain. They can operate completely independently, but also provide the ability to roll this up. And this can be controlled within, a multi-site DXP, similar to, a multi-domain implementation within QAD. And the number of channels and touch points is rapidly increasing, and it's not showing any signs of slowing down. Leveraging advanced API and backend capabilities helps content creators manage and deliver information across multiple channels, whether it's desktop, web apps, mobile apps, PDAs, wearables, through a single management interface. And this also speaks to integration, API consumption, and monetizing your content. So with information overflow, delivering personalized experience to visitors should be one of the cornerstones of any digital strategy. Challenges associated with delivering personalized content are sometimes related to lack of visibility, complicated tools, or inability to integrate, a learning curve based on the tooling, and also costs associated with the need to integrate third-party software. So what you want to do is to provide out-of-the-box capabilities that enable marketers to make informed decisions based on analytics and leverage out-of-the-box capabilities to shape user journeys, thought discovery, segmentation, personalization, and optimization, all using the same unified tool set. You need to be able to identify new marketing opportunities highly correlated with new and defined audiences. Study behavioral patterns and single out the most promising leads with segmentation capabilities. And earlier I mentioned 360 profiling. See the visitor's complete journey across web channels, mobile apps, CRM, and marketing automation systems, and more. Messaging needs to be tailored as much as possible. Conducting A/B testing to shape messaging for key audiences and measure impact to website interaction and engagement, taking away the guessing and using a more scientific approach. Improved experiences through contextual web analytics and optimize the entire journey with advanced customer analytics that support upsell and cross-sell opportunities. So delivering products or services in a most cost-effective manner possible while still ensuring high quality of the products is extremely important, especially today when we're being asked to do more with less. Challenges associated with achieving operational efficiency often span across multiple teams and have multiple dependencies. So beyond content management, utilizing a truly extensible platform can help simplify common business and technical challenges and enable IT to achieve better operational efficiency. One of the key ways of doing that is through cloud deployment. Your DXP should be easy to deploy on-prem, via a private cloud, or on a public cloud service. Progress also has a Sitefinity cloud offering that not only ensures high scalability, availability, and improved security, but also removes the cost and human resource overhead associated with planning, deploying, monitoring, and managing your infrastructure. So regardless of the vendor, strong consideration for outsourcing this to the cloud should be considered. Your DXP should be API enabled. Clear separation of concerns ensures quick time to market, improved performance, and better control over the content, and which will also contribute to better business continuity. Operational efficiency is also diminished by a lack of visibility and interoperability, including existing data silos. So exchanging, aggregating, and analyzing information through multiple systems can become a challenge, resulting in that lack of visibility that we discussed. And it could have a negative impact on your ability to make informed decisions. Your CMS should be a pivotal point of the entire digital experience, as it enables enterprises to interconnect with external data sources through available connectors. And your platform should be able to integrate with CRM, ERPs like QAD, marketing automation systems, Salesforce, Microsoft Dynamics, as well as B2B and B2C systems that are out there in the market today. And finally, your system should support and play nicely with CI/CD processes. Does your DXP support continuous integration and continuous delivery, as well as content synchronization? CI/CD and keeping your sites in sync are required to remove bottlenecks and hurdles and enable marketers to independently synchronize content between environments while developers can continuously deliver new features and capabilities. So the web is an endless pool of information. And because there's so much noise out there, we need to take the guesswork out of digital commerce. The convenience of finding shopping online while commuting to work, comparing products and services on your tablet, reading reviews while having a break, placing an order with a single click, and having it delivered to your door the very next day are some of the many reasons users have embraced digital commerce. I know that I'm guilty as charged. Regardless of the industry or vertical, organizations must ensure that they have caught the growing wave of consumers looking to shop online. Some of the challenges associated with this are often associated with finding e-commerce platforms that are secure and extensible, flexible, and provide for agility as business drivers change. Ensure that content and commerce are well integrated. Integration with your back office systems, ERP and CRM, and also integration with payment gateways and fulfillment shipping vendors. Agility and extensibility, providing the ability to address new B2B and B2C scenarios as they emerge. And finally, searching to aid product discovery, upsell, and cross-sell. So those are some of the challenges that companies are facing as they choose their e-commerce partners. And the solution is to deliver a seamless, unified content and commerce experience. Engage with the customer across all devices and stages of the funnel, and control your online presence through one consistent platform. So let's take a step further back. This presentation is focused on digital experience platforms and web content management. Well, this graphic represents a technology ecosystem that you would expect in any enterprise. Progress helps provide an adaptive experience with applications or experiences that support all digital touch points needed by your users. Now, this begins with various user interfaces, including native or hybrid modal applications, chatbots, or even wearables. This adaptive experience needs to be supported by a cognitive cloud experience with a modern set of application services that include, serverless cloud backend, the ability to manage complex business rules through a business rules management system, content management, as we discussed, and we have a long history supporting mission-critical application experiences, supporting both ISVs and enterprises, applications like QAD. And we need the ability to connect data, whether it's in the cloud or on-premise. With our Ipswitch tools, we've extended our ability to support secure file transfer, as well as network monitoring capabilities. So as a trusted partner, Progress checks all of the boxes as you tackle the enterprise challenge. These screenshots are, looking in the mirror from a Progress perspective. We have our B2B, our B2C, and our B2E portals. And you can see we provide interfaces into Workday. We have an Ask ticketing system internally. We can provide praise for our colleagues, Salesforce. We have access to our tech support system through portals, as well as QAD EE is accessible. So, just using Progress as an example, you can see where we have various touch points and integration into the various systems that we run our business. In summary, today's extraordinary business environment is dynamic and unpredictable. Consumer behavior and buyer preferences have changed, and this is a threat to companies that provide an average digital experience. There is a strong push behind digital transformation, and the need for innovation is accelerating. And some key takeaways include self-service capabilities, personalization, and timely customer engagement. I'm about to turn the presentation over to Jonathan Reed for the demo, but before I do, a very short public service announcement. Although, I've been talking about web content management and digital experience, please remember that Progress has a QAD team that delivers services around implementations, integrations, data migrations, or data conversions. We have managed QAD services, as well as infrastructure implementation and support. And many of you probably already know that many QAD customers utilize our MDBA service, and we do many database health checks for our QAD customers, as well as our Pro2 replication product, which has been a very popular product inside of the QAD community. Without further ado, I'm going to turn it over to my colleague, Jonathan Reed.
Thank you, Alex. For now, let's go ahead and take it into the demonstration. As Alex mentioned, the demonstration will cover a little bit of page creation. We'll look at maybe some specific use cases around this particular site, which I'll explain in just a moment. We'll look at, again, that page creation, we'll look at templates, and then we'll look at a complete custom process that we've implemented in this particular site in order for you to maybe gather requisitions from employees, so more of a B2E type of enterprise here. Just as a little bit of deeper information into Sitefinity and what we're trying to present to you today is we're trying to take your knowledge and your expertise as IT and developers and take that, utilize it within Sitefinity to expose your information to your public, whether that's specific customer portals or it's a B2E type of platform, B2C or B2B, as Alex talked about earlier. Sitefinity is going to give you as a developer or the IT staff the ability to step away from the website. So what we're going to do when we go into the demonstration is I'm actually going to slip on a hat of an author or an editor, or as your marketing team might be. And as I slip on that hat, you're going to see that they're no longer going to have to write a ticket, put it in support help for really much of anything of their daily operations any longer. And that would be as simple as, hey, we spelled the wrong, or as complex as, hey, we need a new page. All of this can be done directly through Sitefinity. So let's go ahead and get into it. Again, this site is fictitious, but really built on Sitefinity, and we're treating it as an intranet, if you will. So navbar.net is an intranet site for the Navbar company. All right. So as we look around, let's just take a brief, drive, and we're going to look at, say, our information technology pages. We can look at our human resource pages. We can really look at a whole bunch of things. But at this point, our human resource team decided that they needed a little bit more information on the site. In fact, they've been getting a lot of emails and or instant messages requesting some specific information, like how do we log in to get our pay stub, or some of these types of operations. So instead of HR contacting development or IT, again, maybe it's via ticketing system or whatever your process might be today, they're going to be able to log into Sitefinity and take care of all of that for you. So let's go ahead and jump right in and do that. So now I want you to treat me or think about me as a content author or editor in the system. I've logged in to Sitefinity, and now I can begin to navigate around the system to control and promote the ideas that I need. So the first thing that we might need is maybe some adjustment to the pages itself. So the human resources pages, we don't have any navigation or anything for them to get to any sub pages or sibling pages or child pages, whatever we'd like to call them. So let's make a quick change to the main HR page to change the template. We're going to navigate directly into the page editing experience of Sitefinity, and with just a couple of clicks, we can easily change our template for this page. We already have a predefined template. Building out templates in Sitefinity actually works just like the page builder you're about to see, the main difference being it applies to multiple pages. So let's jump in here, down here in the bottom right-hand corner. I'm going to quickly change the template. We're going to use this portal inner right column template. This brings in a right column to display some sidebar navigation that we could show children pages, sibling pages, or maybe even a custom selection. So let's go ahead and use this template here. As I change the template, our structure of the page is going to change. We're now going to be introduced with this sidebar navigation, and we'll have to simply just move a little bit of our content around. So we can take our content block and we can drop it right here in this right side column. It left us with our original layouts, which is fine. All we have to do is simply remove them. So now, right now, we'll have our navigation widget over here. We've made it editable on pages, which is another powerful feature of Sitefinity templates. So let's say 99% of the pages need to show the child page when the navigation bar is on the right-hand side. That's the way we initially set it up. But if the user wanted to make a change individually on this page itself, we could easily say all the pages under the currently open, or maybe a custom selection. We're going to leave it as is, no need for changes. I'm going to preview this content. Again, I'm still wearing my marketing hat here. I want to make sure this content looks good. So here we're going to preview in our desktop environment. We don't have any child pages, so this is okay that nothing's displaying over here on the right. Let's also take a look at it in mobile devices. So as we all know, mobile and responsive is an ultimate need in this day and age. Whether you're doing a B2C or a B2B type company, and you're exposing your information elsewhere, making sure that it's mobile responsive is of the utmost importance. So we're going to double check in our iPhone 5 here. Everything's looking good there. Maybe something a little bit bigger. How about an Air? So here's an iPad Air. Maybe check horizontal or landscape. Again, we're still looking good. I'm feeling great. So let's go ahead and close that preview down. A couple other things I'll mention just really quickly. Maybe this content was a promotional piece instead of being just a general page. I could actually schedule for this content to publish at a specific date and time, all the way down to the minute. So if you are introducing a portal or the B2B or B2C type realm, you can easily schedule out your content or get ahead of content, schedule promotions or different type of components to go live at specific times of the day. You can in fact even unpublish those at specific times as well. So maybe you have a 1-week promotion or a 1-week announcement, whatever that terminology you might like to use, you can easily set that forth with Sitefinity using scheduled publishing. One other note about Sitefinity features, as you see right below here, we have permissions. I can actually set my permissions contextually throughout the system, meaning if I want to control the permissions for this specific page to only allow access to maybe somebody in the HR role, I could do that directly from this screen. We of course have central management screens where you can manage all permissions of the site, but we like to keep things as contextual as possible. One other note here before we move on to the next bits of fun is revision history. So we actually keep a revision of each one of our content. Let's say somebody made a change and they're like, whoops, didn't mean to, or whoops, I want to go back to the version it was before. No problem at all. A couple button clicks with Sitefinity, you can revert back to a previous version. All that being said though, I think we're pretty happy and set with the way our page looks. We can go ahead and just publish the content. As I do so, this will now be live on the front end of our website. So if we navigate back over here in this left tab to our HR-based content page, it'll then be promoted as we set it up. Okay, so we have our right sidebar column here. We've now quickly made a page template change to our site. Again, I'm still wearing my marketing and my authoring hat, if you will. We're going to jump back into the back end of Sitefinity and go ahead and create a new page. With this new page, we're going to put a piece of dynamic content onto the page. So let me explain to you a little bit about what dynamic content actually means. So within the content management system, we went ahead and promoted pages. So we just talked about pages. We built a page. Well, we didn't build it. We edited it. We modified it, right? We're going to build a page in a second. But we also have the idea of dynamic content, meaning you go to a central location and then you get to manage that content centrally. So something like news. I can go to that news screen under this content dropdown. I navigate into there. I have a predefined set of fields that I'm going to fill out to edit any content. Same thing would work for really any of these other types of content here, all the way down to content blocks. All that comes out of the box with Sitefinity. We have another component called the module builder. So we understand that each implementation of Sitefinity is unique. We work in almost every industry vertical there is out there, and every one of our customers take advantage of what we call our module builder. Our module builder allows you to build out your own types of content. So here we've built out things like portfolios, timeline items, and team members. In fact, we display most of those on our homepage, but of course can display them in other places. So right now we only currently have one published portfolio. We have our timeline items here where our users can simply go and add a piece of content and it automatically shows up here. Also, our team members down here at the bottom all gets managed from a central location. I can publish team members on multiple pages, or they could simply just live here. Really depends on the exact need, but the system is flexible enough for you to make that decision on your own. All right, so that's a little explanation about the dynamic content. Let's get into our human resources section here, and maybe let's create a child page. So let's go ahead and do that, and we'll create a child page here. Now this page is all going to be about frequently asked questions, so we'll just call it FAQs for now. The URL automatically creates. We place this under the resource pages or human resource pages, excuse me. We could also place it somewhere else if this wasn't the right location. Does it show up in navigation? And then we have two other options here, a group and redirect page. Group meaning a folder structure, redirect as it sounds might redirect to another page. The next step of the process is for us to select a template that comes along with the system. So we have some custom templates defined here for our specific portal example, if you will. In this case, I can just use the inner page base as I want a full column layout. I don't need the sidebar navigation, so we'll go ahead and use this one. We'll then enter back into the page building apparatus, and then we get to start our drag and drop process for building out content. We're going to work with a few different types of widgets. The first one we're going to work with is the card widget. This is actually predefined on the template itself. This gives my team the ability to come in here and really just do a couple things. One, add a heading. So here we're going to go and say Human Resources FAQs. Okay, so this is going to be the main title of the page. Go ahead and save that. It'll present there across the top. Looks great. We might then grab what we'll call the Sitefinity list type. Let's place it in that content placeholder, but let's do one other thing. Since we are utilizing Bootstrap out of the box with Sitefinity, I want to make this a little bit tighter container and utilize the out of the box components here. So we used our grid layouts, which you have full control over, to build out some tighter components here. Again, we can nest these as much or as needed. No real limit there, but allows you to build out robust column-based sites, all based on Bootstrap rules. Let's place that list setting into that column that we just placed here, and let's make a configuration. Now, the HR team has already started a list of content to display here, so let's go ahead and take a look at where that list is. Here we have one called HR FAQs. We can go ahead and select that list. Do I need a filter by any reason? Categories, tags, or dates? No reason for filtration at this point. Let's sort them by last published. Let's put the last published at the top. Actually, you know what? Let's do A to Z. That probably makes a little bit more sense in this particular case here. So the list item settings, do we want to use an anchor list, a simple list, expandable list? I like to use the expandable list so the users can read the question and then expand for the answer. In fact, with Sitefinity Insight platform, you can even track when users expand list items so you can know how engaged they are into your content. The detail template is fine as it sits, and let's go ahead and hit save. As soon as we save it, the new template will be presented here. We have our HR FAQs and then our actual FAQ. We can, of course, go through the same process we did before with our page edit and check a preview here. Feels great. Here's my answer. You know, very, very happy with the setup here. So at this point, the HR team has come through. They built out a page for their FAQs. Now they can directly publish it. Now, they can directly publish it because we haven't set up anything like workflows. But Sitefinity does ship out of the box with a robust workflow engine, meaning maybe Alex needs to approve my content before I go live, or somebody in Alex's role. No problem at all. Sitefinity will allow you to configure a 1 to 3 stage of workflow approval process. So some really great additional features there. You can even do things like setting up a set of page sections to be approved by a certain group of users. HR gets approved by HR manager, IT gets approved by IT manager, very common setup in a portal world. So we published this page. In fact, if we go back over here to our site, and let's navigate over to our human resources pages that we originally created. And now over on the right-hand sidebar, we now have our FAQ page, and we can directly navigate to that content. I didn't have to do anything with the navigation widget. All I simply had to do was create the content. How do I add a new one? I'm glad you asked. Let's go ahead and do that. Let's step out of the page editor here. And now all I have to do as a content author and editor is go into the Sitefinity list, open the correct list, and add a new question. So let's go ahead and do that. Let's jump into the HR questions here. These are our tool tips. This is going to let you know how to interact with the system. This is my first time here, so it's going to let me know how to do this. So I'm going to skip that tutorial. Yep, we got it. Here's our current list item. We can, of course, edit and modify it directly through there, but let's go ahead and create one. How do you get paid? That's a very valid question, I suppose. And the answer being your paycheck will be auto deposited. Don't mind my spelling here. Let's see how I did. Oh, not too bad. There we go. How about we add a little more? Into your account. All right. So that's the answer. Any categories and tags that we might want to add along with it, we're not using them currently, but a way for you to classify your content. As you saw, you can sort it on the front end. If you needed more category-based HR questions, so it could be HR and then a specific category or tags from there. We can go ahead and publish that content. Again, no workflow on this particular piece of content, so it's directly live into the system. So let's go back to the FAQ page, and we will do it. And how do I review my pay stub? And now, how do we get paid? So now we have those two FAQ questions where you can easily go to one central location in the system, publish, and it goes everywhere. This is a general life cycle of somebody who might be interacting with Sitefinity. Again, this is stuff that you're going to be passing from IT and now enabling marketing to perform on their own. As you see here, everything is drag and drop based. You highlight content in order to make it beautiful, and lots of other great features. At this point, I'd like to take you through a customized experience that we've placed into this system. So not only is Sitefinity easy to use for the marketing team, from the IT perspective or developer perspective, it's very much easy to use as well. In fact, Sitefinity comes with APIs on the server side written in C#, as well as web service APIs. These are JSON OData services. Those services, the latter, the web services, allow you to expose your content to really many platforms. If you need to expose your news content to your mobile application to allow the marketing and business team to manage it from that central location and expose it to your mobile app, Sitefinity is your guy. All right. Let's now go through a very explicit example here of how we might build a customized requisition form. So in my IT department pages, they had a request. Now this took developers to do, but they have a system where they need people to come into Sitefinity. They need to request, say, parts, right? So I need a new laptop, or I need a new whatever it is, mouse, keyboard, this type of operation. So we now have this requisition form. We can go ahead and say, John, test here. Who's my manager to approve? With Sitefinity rules that we set up in these forms, it in fact emails each one of these managers specifically when you select their name from the drop-down list. So very powerful there. So let's send it off to Stanley Ipkiss. My email address we'll place in here as navbar.net. There we go. The requested part. So we have mouse, keyboard, other option being, look, it's going to drop down an item in case you don't have it. I need a new 23-inch monitor. When would I like it by? How about next week? Expected price. This here should be, say, about $200. Requisition number, maybe should be a hidden field. We don't need to populate it at this particular point. What's the reason for the new monitor? I only have my laptop screen. Seems like a valid reason for the user to need a new monitor. The next step of this process is this review. This is a customization to the system. It actually submits the component and allows me to review what might already be displayed here. So this is a customization, but then allows the user to review what they've already placed here and then submit the actual requisition itself. What happens behind the scenes? Well, Stanley Ipkiss got an email. Might look something like this here, where it says an IT requisition form has been completed. This is a different one. This isn't the exact one I just sent. But here, the manager then can step through to the approval process. This portion, again, is an extension to the system. What it'll do is pre-populate the message as this particular user got their keyboard wet, apparently. We can go on to the next step here and go ahead and approve the particular form. So who's going to be the supplier, first or second choice? Second choice is fine. Part number, whatever that might be. When is it due? How about the 9th? Max allowed price is going to be $400. Is this requisition approved? Yes, absolutely. Next step is the manager to review the component as well and then submit it. Now, in the end of that process, once the final approval has been met by the manager, all fields are approved and the requisition number has been created, it would then ship this off via the Sitefinity webhook that we have in the system, or to utilize the API to post that information out to a requisition software. if you will. So in closing here, we like to highlight the fact of the extensibility from Sitefinity. I, in fact, fell in love with Sitefinity for the first time as a developer. From there, your marketing team, your business team is absolutely going to love Sitefinity. From the drag and drop experience of building out pages, page templates, or forms, as well as being able to track customer insights, customer journey, as well as being able to track external components of your system. Sitefinity is a very powerful content management system that can help drive your business to the next level, exposing your information to your customers in a responsive and mobile fashion, as well as exposing it to other platforms. Thank you so much for listening to our demonstration today.